All right, everyone. Welcome to the Midnight Mission podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Orlando, and I'm here with.
Your other co-host, Ricardo.
It's been a while
Yeah.
since we've done a podcast. So today we have an interesting episode. Ricardo recently went to Disney World. He had a small family trip. What, like 2 weeks ago?
About 2 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Okay. And I want to apologize to our listeners because I was late on uploading the last episode. Actually, technically, it hasn't been uploaded as of this recording. But once you hear this, hopefully, you should have already heard the one that's late.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna talk about Disney World, his experience there. I went last year, so I went for a shorter time period that he did. You went for like a full week, like 5 days, right?
I went 5 days.
Yeah. So he'll mainly be talking, and I'll be listening, and I'll be co-signing. But let's get started. Oh, and we may touch on the state of WWE and what's going on over there. It's been pretty interesting couple of weeks, months.
Ups and downs, a lot.
All right, so let's talk about Disney World.
Okay, so first off, let's talk about, in your opinion, how would you rate the parts?
Parks?
In the yeah,
one through 5. Like rate them like
no,
like
1 through 5, like
favorite?
least to favorite out of all of them.
Sheesh. Okay, least to favorite. All right. I would say that Magic Kingdom is at the bottom. It's just not fair for me to rate it because I didn't experience. I mean, I went to all 4 parks, but I didn't spend so much time because Florida weather sucks. Okay, I'm gonna rate them based on my experience. So least favorite to favorite. So least favorite was Magic Kingdom. Then Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. The only reason I'm rating them in that particular order is because Magic Kingdom, I was there for half the day for each park. Magic Kingdom wasn't really much there. I mean, they had some rides, like Space Mountain was pretty dope. I had a lot of fun on that ride. There wasn't really anything there like that really caught my attention. Epcot would probably have been higher on my list, but because I only experienced half of the park because we saw a storm coming towards us, I didn't get to experience the Festival of Foods or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the Festival of Food and Wine.
Yeah, I didn't get to experience that, even though it was like there. Because I went like last June, end of last June.
Time, yeah.
I think it was like a month apart that we went in terms of like when you went time frame wise. And then Hollywood Studios, the only thing I went to in Hollywood Studios was Galaxy's Edge. That's it. I mean, I walked through Toy Story Land or whatever it's called.
The Pixar, I think it's Pixar.
Yeah, whatever it's called. But I went just straight through it. No pit stops, nothing.
Oh, so you went that way around the map.
Okay. Yeah, I followed the map.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I went the other way, which is just straight to Galaxy's Edge.
I don't know. Wherever I parked when I got there, or when we got there, because it was a group, it was a family trip. We went straight there. And it also rained when I was there, so I didn't really experience Galaxy's Edge the way I wanted to either. And then Animal Kingdom was my number 1 because I really liked it a lot. I like the rides. I like the environment. I know that's like the opposite of your experience with Animal Kingdom. I mean, Flight of Passage. Wow. It's pretty dope.
How long did you wait in that line, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, the lines were mad long. I waited...
No, but specifically
74 minutes.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. I mean, but I got on the ride with my brother.
Yeah.
My kid was too young to get on, so he didn't get on. But his kids got on, so it was like me, my brother, and my nieces and nephew.
Yeah.
And we got on, and we talked. The time went by. We didn't feel the time go by slow, and like there's stuff for you to see while you're in the queue waiting. Yeah. So it's not like boring walls. It's pretty cool stuff that they have there set up, and the ride was awesome. And like my nerd side, I'm like, I want to see how this works, and when I look down, the floor is gone.
Yeah.
Like, how did that happen? And like all of these people appeared. I mean, it was worth the wait for me. I mean, it's like a 5-minute ride, maybe less.
It's 4 minutes. They said it too, and I think that's what also pissed me off. They were like, "This is a 4-minute and 30-second ride." I think that's what they said.
But what ride is longer than 5 minutes?
I know, but you don't need to tell me that because that makes it feel like because I waited longer. Actually, I waited like almost 2 hours. And so
No, you didn't.
no, because it was so we went roughly around the evening, not necessarily before the park closed, but we did go around like 4 or 5ish, and I guess that was the busiest time for it. And so ours is more than an hour, more than an hour and 30.
That sucks.
And so I will say this, I did like how there's small pit stops for the ride. Like when you go in, there's a bathroom in there. There's a water fountain in there, which I thought was really cool.
It's the simple things, huh?
It's the simple things. And I was just like, another ride that's similar, which, I mean, I guess you didn't experience it because it wasn't ready yet, was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that one because that was a really good one. I was just like, every ride that's long like this should have those small features, I feel like.
Did that one have it?
No.
It didn't?
No, it doesn't have that.
That sucks.
But like even with Smuggler's Run in Hollywood Studios, I did see a lot of people like in the front run all the way back out and then quickly run and be like, I'm in front of the line, I gotta go back.
I mean, but I think because Flight of Passage is such a big ride, it holds so many people.
Yeah.
And it needs all that space. So it's in its own like building.
It's its own thing, yeah.
It's its own thing. So I can see why they had the opportunity to build restrooms
Yeah.
and water fountains and all that stuff. And like it's a really long line. It's a lot of walking. Like I remember walking through and I was like, oh cool, we're almost there. No. Oh, we're almost there. No.
See, I thought the Flight of Passage thing, like, because you know how usually the line where you wait is similar to the ride, right? You know, they do it to get you into it. You know how the beginning of the line is outside and it goes inside into a cave. Okay, kind of makes sense. Just like Avatar. I think we see a corner and we're like, this is where the ride is at.
Right. That's I think the same exact corner that I saw.
And then it's like you go into the lab and I was like, no.
Yeah. Because it spirals up.
It spirals up. And I didn't realize that in the beginning until I thought about it. Like, wait, we literally went up a spiral if you think about it, because we started at the canyon and then we were at the forest and then we were in the lab, and I was just like,
but the experience of the ride was pretty cool.
You know what I really wish they had was a second option for so I don't know, I think we talked about this before, but you weren't able to experience the Mission Earth and Mission Mars in Epcot, which is just a gravity simulation of a space shuttle. So there's a lot of intense movement and gravity. You actually feel the gravity. And so we did Mars. We're like, oh, it just says heavy intense. We didn't think it was too much. No, you feel the intensity. And I feel like a lot of issues with Disney rides, especially for the adult side of it, a lot of the rides are very simple. Like they're, in terms of intensity, they're not that wild. They're not that exhilarating. Not all of them, but some of them are. Oh, excuse me. And I really wish a cool factor would have been that instead of you ride the Last Shadow, which is the giant red. I can't remember what they're called.
I don't know. I don't know the ride.
No, in Flight of Passage. You know how you ride the you're synced to a Banshee.
Oh, right.
And then there's I think it's called the Rancor, which is the big red one. That'd be cool if you could ride that one. I had a more intense.
I mean, it would be, but then it's like everyone is gonna want to ride it.
Nah, the people are gonna ride the other.
And no one Disney, they're like, okay, you got to pay an extra
I'll pay
$50 to ride.
Yo,
this
I
one.
wish they put Lightning Lane on it. I hate that it's not on Lightning Lane.
It doesn't have Lightning Lane.
No.
I know
you have to like set it up earlier, so you can't like use Genie Plus. I think on it, it's weird.
I mean, Genie Plus is new.
Yeah.
When I went last year, we're talking about June 2021.
Yeah.
They didn't have Genie Plus.
Yeah, they saw
Genie Plus is relatively new.
The Lightning ticket thing that you buy. Yeah.
I didn't even buy that. I didn't even see it when I was doing everything online because you guys had someone.
We had someone book it for us.
Book it for you guys.
And I think that liberated a lot of things, so we didn't really have to worry about anything. And from my experience, I'll talk a little bit about mine.
Just pay that money,
but not really. I mean, I did a quick estimate to see if we did plan everything. It was the same price.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, Disney's not cheap.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. Maybe because I was more financially stable. I guess the word is.
I am too, but
no, but you have higher responsibilities than I do.
Okay, there we go.
So that's true. I have more accessible income. You know, so I was just like, take it, take my
Take my
wallet,
money.
take my money. I have
Yeah.
no repercussions to say, right? Like I don't have anything like that. So I actually wanted to, spend more. I was willing to spend more, but because it was a family trip, we didn't spend that much. I wanted to, but whatever happens.
I mean, for the first trip, I think it's like you pace yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
And then after that, well, I don't know.
I think
guess
the only
it
waste
depends.
I thought was the park hopper because we actually didn't use it.
Yeah, I think I told you, like, dude, you don't need the park hopper because
Yeah.
you're gonna be a full day at every park. For
Yeah,
someone like me who only
went-
had a
yeah.
short period of time, I was in the park 2 full days.
Yeah.
But the trip was a total of 4 days if you count the arrival
Mm-hmm.
and leaving. If you count the travel days. So that's why I got the park hopper because I didn't want to go and only experience 2 parks and then be like, man, I should have gone to this park instead.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
for example, the first park we went to was Magic Kingdom. I was there and I was like, oh, this is too Disney for me. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
too like, so I'm glad I got the park hopper. So for
Mm-hmm.
us, it really worked out. And I think one day we went to 3 parks because we went to the Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
That was the second day. Then we went to Epcot. And then because it started raining, we went to Magic Kingdom, which in hindsight, we should have gone back to Animal Kingdom to do what we didn't finish.
That's true.
But whatever, lesson learned. But I guess let's focus on like your experiences at each park. Since we started with Animal Kingdom, like talk about what you liked, what you didn't like.
So that's easy. For me, that's we'll start. I'll do my list that way. So the lowest is for me Animal Kingdom. Even though you said it's your favorite, I didn't like it. And in simple terms, it's a zoo. I've been to the zoo before. I don't need to go back to the zoo. That's one thing.
Okay. I mean, that's how you saw it. That's how you saw it.
But like, not even that. Like in terms of everything, I didn't like the aesthetic of it, and not the aesthetic. Let me take that back. Like how. Let me see. I'm trying to think of this word without like making people angry because I know someone's listening and they're already upset. They're like, Animal Kingdom's my favorite. Animals. So I will say this. I do like the culture of it. Like how a lot of Asian countries are represented in. I really like that. But in terms of like the ride, like I think the only reason I didn't like it that much is because I didn't get to go to Dino Land.
You didn't get to what?
The Dino Land, the little dinosaur part. I wanted to go to that part.
Dino Land, bro. It was like this. So it was like running.
No, I wanted to go to the Dino Land part, and I was like, I want to see dinosaurs.
I do want to make a suggestion to whoever's listening. If you're going to go to Disney World or Disneyland, go for a week. Don't be dumb like me.
Don't try to save money.
It's not so much about saving money.
No,
it
but
was
like prepare yourself.
Yeah,
Like, it's better to go for like a long period of time. So
you
because
have the full experience. I had like literally half the experience, and so. But sorry, continue.
No, yeah. And then I think also, I mean, I didn't really like. So I went in during the summer, right? Luckily for me, it didn't rain any of the days. It was hot. And in the
I
Animal
was so
Kingdom,
mad. I'm so upset. I'm so jealous.
just a little fun fact: it rained after we left, so I was just like,
Whatever.
that's cool.
I mean, we got poured on, dude. Like
Yeah.
soaked. Like I showed you the video.
Yeah.
I
So
showed
I'm
you
like,
the video.
so we were prepared for that because you told us that. Oh, never mind. So we had ponchos and everything here, and in our bags. So we had somebody with a small. I think it was one of our family members with just a bag and everything, and they carried all the things around. So they had we had our water bottles, we had ponchos, and whatever things we bought. But back to the Animal Kingdom. I mean, I think I enjoyed more of the Pandora side of things. How that whole section, just like walking through the entryway between like the park itself and then Pandora, I thought it was pretty cool.
I think it's a beautiful park.
It is. I
Like-
just didn't like. I didn't have. And then another ride that really made me angry was the Kali River Rafters. I think that's what it's called. Because it looks like it's a like Splash Mountain. That's what it looks like in the photos, and that's how they kind of describe it. Where it's like it's a tube. You go up the hill and you drop down. When we went up, I thought we were gonna drop, right? No, you just go up and you're like just elevate it, and that's it. I was just like,
So you're just disappointed in the ride.
I was, especially I was like, I would have been, especially since that ride had a really long wait, and we had lightning lane on that one, so I was just like, if I waited in that line, I would have been pissed. I would have been like, yo.
Yeah. Did you guys do the tour?
Oh, the safari?
The safari?
No,
yeah.
I had my two of my family members did. I didn't.
Oh, I wanted to do that one, but we had to choose between that or the flight of passage, so we chose the flight of passage. So we did that one
I
instead.
mean, if you like animals, you can like.
I mean, it's cool. You know what I mean? Like I took my kid.
No, that's
at the
what I'm
time
saying.
he
Like,
was 3, about
Yeah.
to turn 4.
yeah,
So I wanted him to see it.
yeah.
But
Because I
it
think
didn't happen. Maybe next time.
for me, it was my sister that went on it, and they have photos of like a baby rhino next to them.
I mean, that's cool, dude.
I don't see. I mean, this is me. I'm just like,
I mean, to each their own. I guess not everyone finds animals interesting. Did you see the little ducks though? They're,
I like
randomly
the
around
ducks.
You like the ducks, but
I don't like. I don't care. For rhino. I like the ducks. I was just like, yo,
no ducks.
No, I'm leaving. Or I actually prefer the random birds that were out there.
Dude, when we went, and it was like a movie scene. Like as we entered Animal Kingdom,
Yeah.
like they had this parrot show, and like we're walking through and we see the big tree. I don't remember the name of the tree, and like they did the parrot show in like right in front of the tree, and you just see the parrots.
Bird.
Just, like,
I know what you're I think I saw like half.
and I was
of
like, oh,
that.
this is so cool. Like they flew so low that if I had put my hand up, and I'm short, I'm not the tallest person in the world, I would have touched them.
You
That's
would've
how low
grazed
they.
them?
Yeah, that's how low they flew.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just my thing. I didn't like it, and I felt like even like when it was hot, it didn't. There weren't a lot of places to cool down.
It's Florida.
Yeah, but like it was easier to cool down anywhere else except for the Animal Kingdom.
You weren't looking, dude, because I remember going and they had these little like water spray things.
I only saw that at one place. I didn't
They
see
were like
nowhere
all over
else.
the park.
I only saw one place. The
I
only
walked
thing,
through them. Trust
the
me.
only thing that was good about the Animal Kingdom was that, and it wasn't even in Animal Kingdom. It was in Pandora.
Well, Pandora is an Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, I don't. But that's like a separate thing. That's its own cool thing.
Oh, in your mind, maybe.
Yeah. When I crossed that bridge over to Pandora, I forget about
I
Animal
forgot
Kingdom.
about it.
They
Okay.
got a really good beer there.
All right. So then,
And then my next one will be Magical Kingdom.
okay.
My third will be Magical Kingdom. So when I went, it was the 50th anniversary for Disney. There's a lot of cool things to do, and food and drink wise, everything was like 50. Like the cups were 50. Like and it was really nice because they come with like collectible light up cups, which I thought that were cool. If you get alcoholic, non-alcoholic, same thing with the food, you get something out of it. We went to. I think I really liked it a lot because we went to Tomorrowland.
I like Tomorrowland a lot.
Tomorrowland was really cool.
I will say I did remember, and I like Tomorrowland.
The only thing I'm upset about is the Buzz Lightyear.
I didn't get on that.
It's really good. It's a shooting game.
I didn't get on that. Space Mountain, like I said earlier, that was my jam.
I'll get to that. But like the Buzz Lightyear, I was like 2,000 points away from Space Commander. So I was like, run it back. Run it back. Let me get back on it. It didn't work in the
Grown-ass
start.
man. No.
Because
No.
apparently you get a pin or something like this as the Space Commander.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was just like,
Okay, I see why you were.
So like I told my nephews about it because my nephew was like my youngest one. He was really into it, so he looked up a lot of like small things that like rewards that you can get or stuff like that. He was like, "Oh, we can get this little like."
Pins are a big deal over there too. That people trade them. Like I spent money.
Have you
on
seen
pins.
the counterfeits and stuff though?
No.
So I'll get to
People
that
always
later.
ruining stuff.
I'll get to that in a second. But so we were like, we gotta get Space Commander. You know, the last one. It's like 999,000 points, and I was like 2,000 away. I think I was the closest one of everybody, of my group, and I was just like, run it back. Let me get back on. Like I'm not leaving. Give me the pin. But and then we went to Space Mountain. I was terrified of it, and the only reason
Really?
why, no, because like, I'll share this. I used to have a fear of roller coasters, but not because of the ride. I almost got my head taken off.
Final Destination.
Yeah, so like
I hate those movies.
when we were on the ride, I felt the bars hit my hair, and so I started like slouching inside the ride seat, like I want to go down. I don't want to put my head up. And I think that happened to me and both my. No, I think my older nephew. He did the same thing because we have the photo, and it's just me and him just like slouching.
Just like, oh my god.
like yeah. I mean, it was a nice ride. It was just like when I felt something
This is
great.
because you can't see anything. It's dark.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
but when I felt something graze my hair, I was just like, I'm going down. I'm
Yeah.
gonna just slouch down. But I mean, I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was a good ride. What else is there?
Haunted Mansion, which I was so disappointed with.
I like the movie.
The Eddie Murphy movie?
Yeah,
I mean, it was okay. You know they're doing a remake, right?
I don't care for it.
I don't know.
After that ride, I don't care about it.
I want to see it.
Haunted
No, the
Mansion.
ride was like people. Okay, so like before going to Disney, I looked up a lot of
Yeah.
videos, and like there are a lot of YouTubers out there. You know, there's like Ordinary Adventures. They were like my go-to people.
Yes.
You know, I still watch them to this day because their
Same.
content is so good. It's just like Disney.
Disneyland things. I do watch them.
Amusement
That's
park,
what I was looking
whatever,
for,
right?
like stuff. Yeah.
So like they hyped Haunted Mansion up for me to the point where I walked in the rain. Made my family and my brother's family walk in the rain because I said I'm getting on this ride because they speak so highly of this ride. It was the lamest ride that I got on in Disney World. I'm sorry for the people who love that ride. If you
I
love
agree.
it, great. It was so lame. It's not even like, it doesn't have to be like a thriller type ride where it's like, oh, it's yanking you back and forth or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Space Mountain. It's literally like going through these scenes and it's like, okay, cool. Like the tech behind it
Yeah.
is pretty dope. Like
Yeah,
I was looking at something like,
ghosts
how,
and stuff
how did
like
they
that,
do
yeah.
that? That's really cool. But I don't know why I expected more. So
I
that was
get
like
what you
my
mean.
least favorite like ride there.
I will say this: I did like the introduction of it, like the way you walk in, and then how the ceiling like goes up and then goes down, and like I think that was better than the actual ride itself. But yeah, I mean, so I had Lightning Lane, I had Genie Plus for my all days, and you have to set up rides. You can only select certain rides at a time. And you have to go at that certain time. And between that, not time, but between that time slot. So it's like maybe it's from 5 to 5:30. And I would see that long line. I just like, whoa.
We just walk by people.
Yeah, like with Lightning Lane, it's just,
Yeah, I was hating on people walking by. I'm like, wait, how'd you get that?
yeah, I was just like,
That's not fair.
I was like, damn, sucks to wait. Excuse me.
I'm such a jerk.
No, it's just
Move aside, peasant.
that's really was. But I think so we tried to do that on our first day, but we didn't know how Genie Plus works, so we got sent to the back of the line. But once I figured it out, I was just like, bet, doing this ride, doing that ride, and we would just so we had the magic bands. We would just tap our magic bands, it would go green. We walk in.
Magic bands are so cool.
Yo, have you seen the
new ones?
the 2.0?
The ones that interact for the 50th anniversary.
No, I mean they still interact with the regular ones, but not as much. But yeah, that's
the ones that light up and everything.
yeah, the
I've seen
2.0.
them. Mhm.
I'm kind of upset.
Yeah, because I think they got released like
As soon as
as soon as you guys got there, so or like right before you guys
I
got
think
there.
right before, and so I had purchased already our magic bands, and we were there, and I was just like,
Yeah,
I'll
I got
buy
my
another
Magic
one.
Man like 2 months before the trip. I was so pressed.
I was like, I'm gonna just buy another one. To be honest,
No, they're expensive. They're like
They are
50
expensive.
bucks a piece.
I think
so I'm like, no, thank you.
if something caught my eye, I would have bought it immediately, like no hesitation. But nothing really caught in terms of the magic bands. Nothing was just like, I'm fine with I had a Genie one.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm fine with Genie.
You know, I'm basic, so mine was black.
Oh damn.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I think I just. I mean, all of ours
Matches
were like.
with everything. What are you talking
Huh?
about? Black matches with everything.
Shut you.
Whatever. Anyway, all right. What other
And
ride did you
then-
enjoy in Magic Kingdom?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
I wanted to get on that
Man,
one so bad.
That was so. I like.
I should have
it's-
gone to that instead of freaking Haunted Mansion, man.
Exactly. It's a nice chill ride. It's cool. It smells like rum in there.
Are you sure? Dude?
It does. You can
I'm gonna have
ask
to look
anybody
that
that.
up, 'cause I feel
Look,
like
go
you
look
might
at that
have
up, and I was just
imagined
like, yo.
Or were you drunk?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. Nah, not yet. Because we went to dinner afterwards. I think so.
Okay.
But it was just like, and that was kind of disappointed afterwards
Mm-hmm.
because we went to the gift shop area where the shopping area around there where Pirates of the Caribbean, and it was mostly like Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, I get there's a ride here, but there's nothing here for Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. I mean, I I bought a Pirates of the Caribbean pin
Yeah.
because I love the Pirates of the
Yeah.
Caribbean movies.
Same here.
But I bought a Pirates of the Caribbean pin. It's like in the shape of a key and it has a skull on it.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Because I was kind of disappointed they didn't have anything like, to the Black Pearl.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I was just like, why?
I don't know if they have this. You may have seen it in like a ride themed to Atlantis. Do they have anything like that?
Right. I don't think so. I didn't see anything like that.
Oh, that would be dope.
That would.
Okay.
But
all right, next park.
second park I think for me is
Third
Hollywood
park.
Studios.
Third park.
No.
Yeah, it's third park because we talked about Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom. So third
No, but
park.
but my second best is
second best. Okay.
Second best is Hollywood Studios. So like you said, you went through the Toy Story where the Pixar stuff is at. I went the other way. I went directly to Galaxy's Edge and all that stuff. I went through there. I really like that one a lot. So we went there our first day, and that was like our I guess our welcome and stuff.
Okay.
But
you went straight. You didn't explore any other place at Hollywood Studio. You just went straight to Galaxy's Edge.
We looked at the map and we were like, so we went there around lunchtime. And we were kind of hungry and we were just like, what are we gonna eat? And so we had previously looked at what they have at different parks, and so I really wanted to eat at Docking Bay 77. And I was like, oh, let's get lunch over there, and then we start from there, and then no, we stayed there. And I was just like, I don't care about anything else. I'm staying here.
So you guys spent the whole day at Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
It's not that big though.
But I had fun.
No, I'm sure, but
I mean,
wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Time out.
Yeah.
You were there all day.
Yeah.
And didn't get on Rise of the Resistance? Because I asked if you got on it.
I didn't get on that one. I got on Smuggler's Run.
My goodness, man.
I saw the video for Rise of Resistance, and I was just like, this ain't it, bro.
And that's the end of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, because this man is
Smuggler's Run.
tripping.
I saw the video for Rise of Resistance. I was just not.
I want to get on that ride so bad.
I was not sold with it.
Mad when I couldn't. Because, okay, so, like, when I went, you had to literally be at the park, like, right before it opened.
Oh, so you mean
to use the app.
The virtual queue.
The virtual queue, yeah.
Yeah, QA.
So I was like, we never made it on time. Yeah. So by the time we got there, it was already, like, all full for the whole day. Like, I know you're going to talk about your experience in Galaxy's Edge. Let me talk about mine for a little bit. Because
the opposite.
That's the day it freaking poured. Yeah. Like, it poured every day. But that's the first day we got caught in the rain. And I remember waiting to get into Doc Ondar's. I think that's how you say it.
Yes.
The Den of Antiquities. And I wanted the Skywalker lightsaber. Not Rey's lightsaber, but like Anakin or Luke's or whoever's lightsaber. I waited in a line for 40 minutes. Yeah. And the damn thing was sold out. Damn. And I refused to leave that store empty-handed. Yeah. So I just bought like Rey's lightsaber, the one she has at the end of the movie with the yellow blade, and Kylo's lightsaber. Nice. Yeah, I guess it was cool. I wanted to leave something in hand. I ended up selling both sabers, but they didn't have Darth Vader's or Luke's. So I was like, I mean, they had like Return of the Jedi Luke, but not A New Hope or Empire Luke lightsaber. Yeah. I mean, they had the Reforged one. I didn't want that one. No, actually, that one was sold out too.
I'm actually thinking of buying one. Either Ahsoka's dual.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm kind of glad I didn't get I didn't get them because I want they're so thick.
No, but I want them for more display purposes.
Even for display purposes,
really?
Man,
I mean, I don't mind it. When it's stuff like that, I don't mind it for I mean, you say it's like that, but so I actually, I built my own lightsabers. I did Savi's, and
yeah, I don't want to spend the money on that. I was being
really
cheap. For that one. I was being cheap.
Yo, it's half of the building it your own, and half of it is the experience of it.
Yeah,
because everybody's in character. As soon as you walk in the door, everybody's in character.
Listen, if I was gonna do it, I was gonna have my son do it. And if it was just, it wasn't going to be just me and him. It was going to have to be my nieces and nephew. Yeah. Because I know my brother wasn't going to do it. He wasn't going to pay for it. So I was going to pay for 5 people to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was being cheap. I was being a cheap uncle. I don't care.
can we do the lightsabers, please?
Nope. But I'm glad you guys experienced it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think now that my son's older,
Yeah.
whenever we go, he'll
Yeah.
probably be 6 or 7 by that time. I'll do it then.
Yeah.
He'll
'Cause
be older and he'll like appreciate it more.
it's cool. Back to that. We did Smuggler's Run. We obviously went shopping. That day.
Shopping.
So I bought every kyber crystal except for blue.
Oh, you bought every kyber crystal.
So I personally, before going to it, I have a holocron that I bought on Amazon, and then I bought
you
like
just spent like $200 on or something.
no, I spent like 60. Like
Oh, okay.
for both the holocron and a white Jedi crystal.
Okay.
And so I had Ahsoka there. So it was just like one of my biggest things was like I want to go and just get everyone. Which I did, and then as you know, the black kyber crystal is in there.
Mm-hmm.
I have it.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the photo I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
So mad.
oh man, I was just hyped. Like
Listen, when I found out, there
Yo.
were 2 things I was really, really hating on. And it's that it didn't rain when you were there. I wanted you guys to get soaked. I was like, I hope they get wet. I hope they get like drawers wet, like drenched.
wet.
Like they have to change their underwear wet.
Nah.
And like I was like, you better not get a black kyber crystal. And like you sent me the picture because I knew you guys were going the first day because you told
So
me.
we
I
went
didn't know
the
you were gonna go back. So I
Yes.
thought like it was done. You didn't send me anything. I was like, he didn't get it. And then when I see it, I'm like, man,
So we
it's not fair.
when we first sit there, you know, I told my nephews about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you know, there's black kyber crystals, and if they got it, I told them straight up, I'm taking it from you. There's no
Oh.
hesitation.
You're such a bully.
I'm gonna beat you up. Like I'm taking it from
He
you.
said I'm gonna beat you up.
We didn't get it right, so we
Mm-hmm.
were all like, man. And I also wanted to get the Sith holocron that day. They were all sold out. I was just like, what?
Yeah, when you go later in the day, stuff sells out quickly. From
I was just like, yeah, I can't
understanding.
just get one from. I know you have it in the back. You can't just like take it out. Like I know you have more inventory.
They're probably like allocate a certain amount for
Yeah.
each day or something.
And I was just like, and then I remember that day, that was a Thursday. They're like, one of the ladies there, she's like, oh, I don't want to be
Cast
that
members is
one
what
of
they
the
call
cast
them.
members. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person, but someone already got it on Monday. Someone
So
already
you
got
might not get it.
So you might not. It's very low chances.
She was
And I was
wrong.
just like, okay, loser.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't get it. We went because on the first day of Hollywood Studios, we actually did droids. We built the droids. I would do it again. I definitely want to do it again. I want to have an army of BB droids. And so just a small fact, we flew. We didn't drive there. We flew.
I drove. That was a mistake.
So I didn't have a carry-on. I just had like a luggage underneath the plane. So I had no personal carry-on. My personal carry-on on the way back was my BB droid. I had him in the little backpack.
Oh yeah, because you guys built droids too.
I built droids too, and then so you can get a bundle deal where you get the bag for it and like a personality chip. So I was just like, man.
I'm surprised this is like your number 2 because it
The
sounds
only
like you
reason
like it
number
so much.
2 is Epcot, and I'll get to it. Why? And it's only the timing of it. That's the only reason why. It's like they're both number 1 to be honest. Like, but
They're tied. They're tied.
They're
Just say they're
tied.
tied. That's
They're
okay.
tied, yeah.
They can be tied.
So that was my carry-on, and then it was funny because they were like, "Oh, do you guys all have a room together?" And they're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, you guys might want to shut off your droids because they'll start talking all night." And it's true because like
You left them on.
so no, we were around the park, and the bag has like a little zipper that opens up so they can like see the outside world,
Oh my god.
and they can because they interact with the park too.
You guys got backpacks for these things.
I mean, it was a bundle thing, and I was just
Oh,
like,
okay.
let's go. And like it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna get a specific backpack for them. No, it was like a bundle thing that came with the chip because I wanted the personality chip, and they're buying like 2 more. I bought each one. Like I started with First Order. Then I was just like, I kind of want the other ones. And they have like different colors and then the different factions. So I bought a navy blue Resistance, and that's it.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
I'll-
it's a cool setup though. Like
I did like it. I'm gonna do it again. I actually like want to modify my droid.
what I really wanted to do though, and I think I mentioned this to you
Mm-hmm.
after you got here. I forgot to say it to you before you went.
Yeah.
I want the next time I go. I already told you when I'm
Yeah.
planning to go, right? The next time I go, I want to go to Galaxy's Edge at night and to Pandora at night.
You can go to the bar.
I don't drink. So.
No. Let me. They have non-alcoholic drinks for you.
I know they do.
You can drink that. So I'll get to that. So on the second day, that's where I got the crystal. So we had our lightsaber, I think, around noon. So we got there early at the park. And we went to the cantina, right? Because we weren't able to go on the first day we were there in Hollywood Studios. They were like, if you don't have a reservation, don't even bother. That's what the cast member told us. And then she kind of changed her attitude because I was like, I'm not feeling the magic right now.
Oh my God.
Because she was just like really aggressive with us because we were just asking because we at that point we didn't know how the reservation worked on Genie Plus. She was like, if you don't got it, don't even bother, don't even come here. I was just like, I was like, I'm feeling the loss of magic here. And then my nephew joined in and he was just like, I think we need to talk to Mr. Mouse.
Oh my God. Mr. Mouse. You guys are hilarious.
No, Mr. Mouse. But yeah, and then the second day we went to the cantina for breakfast. For
breakfast.
Yeah, so having alcohol for breakfast, it's not that bad.
Anyway, okay, your next Tide Park.
All jokes aside, no, but I will say this. One thing I hated about the bar or the cantina. So we went for breakfast, so obviously we were hungry. I wasn't planning to drink, but they didn't have anything else. And they had
they don't have food.
They have snack food, and then the snack food
like
is
Jello, these like alien Jello. Type
it's not
things.
even so they have different menus for different times. For the breakfast time, it's like these really weird crackers and pretzels, and I was very disappointed. My sister loved it; she was over there munching on them, and I was just like, "This shit, bro. I don't got like a typical bar for like I don't know some nachos or something like space
for breakfast though."
I don't know. It's a bar, bro. What did you expect? I had like
it's Disneyworld, man.
Oh, I had an alcoholic drink called Jedi in the Shadows. I think that's what it was called.
That's funny.
So like that's like so. I mean, my nephew's
was
got
it good,
like
though?
It was good. No, the one my sister got was really good. I can't remember what it was, but it came in the collectible cup one. So whatever that one is.
Okay, that's cool.
My nephew's got something called like the Edge of the Galaxy or something. That's like it's non-alcoholic. It's like a Powerade sort of thing. And
Ooh, that sounds gross.
it was okay. It's like a fruit juice Powerade.
Okay.
So it wasn't anything like weird. I was just like, it's just blue with like special like I forget what it's called, but
like
it's
powder
that,
or like glitter.
It's
or
that
like,
that glitter powder that they
or
put
like
in.
Pop Rocks.
So, no, it wasn't pop rock. It's like I know that they have this powder they put inside that makes it look like it's glitter and like gooey, but it's just liquid.
Oh, okay.
And that's when afterwards we went and so we were like, we're still hungry. And we have like a lot of time before the lightsabers and Docking Bay 7 still wasn't open. I was like, let's just go back. Docking Bay 7 has really good food in my opinion. One of the best food places, and it's not expensive.
I'm trying to remember if I ate at Docking Bay 7. I remember I was like hiding out from the rain in Docking Bay 7.
Yeah. And then that's when we went into the store again, and then I was just like, I'm gonna pick 3. I'm gonna just pick 3. I didn't even look at them.
For the Kyber crystals.
For the Kyber crystals, I was just like, I'm gonna pick 3 because I forgot that I needed a blue one, and that's the only one I'm missing. And I'm thinking about stealing my nephew's because he has a blue one. I'm just about to take that from him.
No shame, dude.
No shame, bro. I'll be honest, bro. Honesty is the best policy. Yeah, I took it, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Anyway,
so I was just like, I'm gonna choose 3. I'm gonna let the Force choose, right? And guess what? I got it
on the second one, right?
on my
Like
7th crystal. On the second day, it was my 7th crystal.
No, but of the 3 that you bought,
It was the second one.
it was the second one.
It was
that
the second
you
one.
opened.
Yeah. Because it was lucky. It was I bought like 5. No, I bought 8.
Those crystals aren't cheap. How much were they? I don't remember actually. Were they 12 or 20? I know there was like a 2 there.
So we noticed this. So on Thursday, it was more expensive.
Really?
Yes, I noticed it because I looked at my bank. No, my bank. I looked at my receipt and I was just like, it was more expensive on Thursday, guys. Like, did we get scammed?
Maybe.
Did they lower the price? I do know it was cheaper on the Monday because I was on Monday.
Maybe it's because it's earlier in the week.
Maybe. And so I just chose 3 random ones. It was the second one, but I had bought a total of 8 red Kyber crystals, and and it was the 7th one. So
Okay.
lucky number 7.
Nice. Now,
And we were waiting for docking bay to open,
mm-hmm.
so we were outside. We were unboxing our crystals, and how now because back in the day when they first come out, you could just put your flashlight from your phone,
Right, because they
you could
didn't
see
have
it.
the black paper in it.
And now it has the black paper, but when you open it from the bottom, well, I mean, you open it from the bottom anyways. But if you look at it from a corner, you can't tell if it's black.
Right,
or red.
I thought I got a black one when
Right,
I
'cause
bought
of the
mine.
paper.
Yes, I
And
was so
so-
hyped, and when I saw that it was red, I was like, no.
I was just like, oh man, this ain't it.
Mm.
I closed it like, is this it? And I pop out the plastic, and I was just like, oh, this
I
is
bet
it.
y'all had this whole show, whole big celebration.
I did.
Speaking of celebration, let's talk about, because I've been trying to segue to this part.
No, we're not
for a
leaving
good
Galaxy's
minute.
Edge.
Yeah. No. Let's
wanna-
talk
I
about,
wanna
because
bring
we
one
still have
thing.
to talk about WWE for a little bit. Let's talk about Epcot. You said that's like tied for like your favorite.
That's tied, and the reason. So we went during the food and wine. One part is the food and wine. It was really good.
That's the only reason why I wanted to go. I should have went there first.
It was really good. Everything was really good. Both alcoholic and
Teasing my son.
non-alcoholic drinks, and the food that were there. It was
The food looks amazing. Was
food-
it good?
yeah.
Okay.
So I think one of my favorite ones was in Japan, the teriyaki chicken buns.
Okay.
But the reason it's tied for me because of the ride, I was fortunate to get on the Galaxy's Edge, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember,
Guardians of the Galaxy Rewind or something.
yeah,
Like that, right?
So Cosmic Rewind.
There we go.
So we've known about it. And they're like, you got to get on the virtual thing on your app and set up, but you have to be there. You have to wake up at 7 and just do it.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Rise
yeah.
of the Resistance was.
Yeah. So you
Hercules.
wake up at a certain time to tell you, but you don't have to be in the park yet. You just wake up, join the queue, and then you have to be at the park around whatever time they give you.
Right.
So we were like, I think I was the because at that point we were roughly going around the park around 12.
Mm-hmm.
We'd sleep in late and all that stuff. So I was the only one that woke up at 7. I didn't even wake up at 7. I woke up like 6:30 just to
make sure.
I'm like, I'm ready. Refreshing. We did it. Our original destination time was around 3:30 to 4:30. Anywhere from that time we could enter the ride. And then, so I'm just like, we were gonna go to Epcot anyway, but I was just like, hey guys, do you guys want to stick around this part of Epcot? Because I had noticed, we did Space Mission Earth, and what else did we do at Epcot? Finding Nemo and talking with Crush.
Oh, yeah, my kid loved Finding Nemo.
Man, I wish I talked to Crush. Because it would have just been funny. Well, not me, my nephew. My nephew's a big, growing up, he was like Finding Nemo. He would cry for Finding Nemo.
Yeah, my kid loves Finding Nemo.
So my nephew, he was just like, pick me.
Oh my God.
Like, he was trying to talk to Crush, and I kind of wish he did.
That's funny.
And I had noticed, like, just looking on my phone, that we started getting closer and closer. Like, it would just push us up and push us up.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like 11 to 12. You could be there. I was just like, guys, let's go.
Oh, they're probably going through the rides quickly.
Going through the rides quickly, or
like
maybe
the queue.
because they track you.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, maybe they know.
Can I say something though?
Yeah.
The best theme park app experience that I've ever had is with the Disney app.
Yeah.
Like, there's no park that comes close. Like, we live in like the DC area, like DC,
DMV.
Maryland, Virginia, and DMV, and we have Six Flags, we have King's Dominion, we
Hershey
have
Park.
Hershey Park, we have
Busch Gardens.
Busch Gardens, and we have another park that's called Dorney Park.
Oh, yeah.
The only park that comes close, and it's not even that close, but that comes the closest to that app experience is Hershey Park. King's Dominion, Six Flags, not
Don't even
even
bother.
in the same league. I haven't used the Busch Gardens app, but
It's my
like
favorite.
it's just like it's so you do everything through the app. You can even chat with support through the app.
You can order your.
You can order
So
your food through the
we-
app. It's,
Yo.
it's such a good app.
Yeah. So a joke that we've started, I think me and my nephews and my sister, is that ever since Lightning Lane, we want Lightning Lane in real life. Like my nephew,
Well,
like we'll be
unfortunately-
driving, and you know how there, the Easy Pass, or if you live in Florida, the Sunshine Pass, for the highway. He's like, yo, is that the Lightning Lane for the cars?
Yeah, it's called Easy Pass.
Yeah.
Well, you just said that.
Yeah.
Oops.
But yeah, so I was just like, guys, we're close. Let's just get on the ride and let's just walk around there. So it was between that and then like explore the. Let's let's stay here.
Mm-hmm.
We get on the ride. The ride is the same concept, not the ride. The building that's it. It's the same as Pandora.
Mm-hmm.
A flight of passage. It's a spiral up, and it leads to the inside of the Nova Core.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually do you beam up technically.
That's cool.
So it's really cool. And guess who's in it? Guess who's your announcer? Your sort of like
I don't know.
tour
Captain
guy.
Marvel.
No, Terry
Rocket?
Crews.
Who?
Terry Crews.
That's random.
It's just so it was just funny because it was me, my nephews, and we were just yelling power like he does in his Old Spice commercial.
Oh my god, those Old Spice commercials are hilarious.
Because we were just like power. But the ride, what I really like about the ride, so I think we mentioned this before. I like 80s and 70s rock music and just in general that era. The ride has a mixtape, so it's.
Guardians of the Galaxy has the best music.
Music.
All of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, and so we got Disco
except for maybe
Inferno.
Thor,
Yeah.
the Rivals Thor, the last two Thors. Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
So we got Disco Inferno, and that shit was banging with the ride. And the ride, I'll just a quick explanation because I don't want to ruin it for if you're gonna get on it.
Right.
It starts, you start going forward, it'll stop, go back, and then turn.
Oh, so a rewind.
Yeah, a literal rewind.
Like a physical, like
Yeah, like a physical rewind. And so, my nephew, I think he was motion sickness because before they went to, like I said, Mission Mars, the gravity got to him.
Oh, okay.
And he was just like, oh, because I was sitting next to him.
Like
I was
your
like,
oldest one or the youngest one?
my youngest one. And I was just like, don't look at me, aim that way.
Oh my gosh, you're the worst.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I'm not trying to get puked on. But yeah, that kind of like pushed the Epcot experience for me.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, like we're gonna wrap up talking about Disney, but all I'll say is that if you have the opportunity to go.
Yeah. But plan it.
Plan it, or like Ricardo got someone to plan it for him.
Yeah, and I didn't have to pay extra.
No, I mean, like it's a cool experience. Like even if you don't have kids, if it's you and friends or you and a significant other, or partner,
I'll even plug the people that did it because they send us like a little.
Okay, plug them. I mean,
no, because they send us a little like a
welcome package.
Yeah, like a welcome package beforehand. And so my sister found them on TikTok. They're called a pair of ears. Haha, funny joke.
Pun intended.
Pun intended. But that's what they're called, a pair of ears. Really easy to use. You give them the dates. They figure out the whole thing. You tell them everything. They got you.
That's cool.
They did everything.
I wish I had done that.
Because a lot of things we didn't know about, like for the lightsabers and droids, they took care of it. They just said, what time you think you want to go? I got you.
Yeah. See, people like, if you have the opportunity to do it, do it. I mean, it's a little pricey, I feel like, but it's worth it. Like, especially if you have kids, those are core memories.
Just don't buy the if you have kids, don't buy the bubble machine.
Yeah, don't buy that stuff.
Don't buy that or the balloons. You'll thank me later.
Yeah, I mean, kids, they're gonna love it. If it's even a group of friends go. It's so fun.
I just want to say one like complaint is that, in the Pandora ride, we were behind some band kids and they started singing.
Oh my god!
And I was just like, please,
shut up.
We cut in line. No, they were actually in front of us, and we had noticed a lot of people were just cutting the line. They're like, "Oh, my cousin's over there. Oh, my family's over there." And we would see them; they'd just be standing there. They really got away with it. And my nephew, my oldest one, he goes, "I think we were in front of you," because they were like singing, practicing, or I don't.
Was it like a cappella group?
Yeah, it was like two guys and two girls, and they're like, I'm like, y'all are cringe. Please stop that, please. I don't. And so my nephew goes up. I think we were in front of you guys. And I think they didn't know how to respond back.
I would have been like, no, you weren't.
They were just like, oh, yeah, I think you were. We literally were behind and we just cut in front of them.
Dummies.
But yeah, that's.
But
don't go if you're an acapella group. Don't go.
Oh my gosh.
Don't go.
But yeah, man, I really highly recommend going to Disney.
Do it.
Now, let's talk about something that's not related to Disney at all.
Not yet.
We said we are a podcast that we're going to talk about Star Wars, Marvel, figures, and wrestling, specifically WWE, this is our 4th or 5th podcast, and we haven't talked about WWE at all. Let's talk about them for a little bit, at least for like the last 10 minutes of the podcast. The wrestling world
It's shaking.
has been going through some major changes. Never in my life did I ever think that Vince McMahon, the creator of the modern WWE, would ever retire
Yeah.
and step down as CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment. Like, never did I ever think or imagine it. I mean,
It's
never,
the reasoning.
dude.
It's
and I understand. Like, I don't want to talk about the reason why or whatever. Like, to me, yes, that's important. Yes, it's messed up.
it's
what
like the end of an
happened,
era.
But it's an end of an era. But
Yeah.
the beginning of a new one with Stephanie as co-COO with Tony Khan. I mean, oops, Nick Khan. Oops. Nick Khan. Sorry, too many Khans. But and then with Triple H as head of creative.
Oh my god! When I saw that,
Dude, it's like, just in the last couple of weeks, you just see the changes.
we see the change.
They're minor, but
We see
him bringing certain people back and like just
And I,
storylines.
I hope we start
It's
seeing
been so good.
one of my biggest, and I hope it does come true, is a more diverse cast or roster. Just say like, we don't have, and that doesn't really mean people. I mean mostly as in wrestling styles.
Mm-hmm.
To me, like WWE right now is very bruiserish.
Yeah, they were stale for a good while.
They have, but I
the
feel
last
like
4 or 5 years, they got really stale.
they got really, and I feel like there's a lot of like technical high flyers that are really good that have been just cut off.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
agree.
just like,
and like all the releases and all of the stuff that was happening.
Yeah.
like whatever the reason may be, I don't know. People say it's because of like money or what. I don't
contracts.
know. My thing is like
Like
the last.
what's her name? Iro Shira, who was
Oh, okay.
Asuka's tag team partner. I can't pronounce her. She's an amazing wrestler. Like I like her gimmick of her being a pirate. I liked when she
That
came.
was pretty cool.
I thought like, especially, and then
But her contract ended and she bounced.
I know, but like, but they also didn't push her as that much. I
Yeah.
feel like if they gave her the opportunity to be like women's
I
heavy,
mean, she was tag team champion with Asuka.
it's just like, but like that's the other thing. Like I feel like women's wrestling has
Gotten
increased.
better though.
It's a lot better,
Yeah, because
especially Asuka.
like I remember
I love Asuka. Asuka's cool.
Asuka's good. My son is obsessed with her.
I love.
I think it's the mask.
That's one part, but I also like her wrestling style, like the Asuka kicks and her Asuka lock. Like I think her like it's very. So I know you don't know a lot about the wrestling outside the United States, basically,
I know some
like New
of
Japan Pro Wrestling.
New Japan.
Yeah.
That's it. Like
Yeah.
that's like my extent of like wrestling knowledge.
So she does have a lot of like New Japan, pro wrestling style.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called? I can't remember. What strong style. I think that's what it's called.
She does strong. I thought that was
That's the style. That's what it's called though. And Shinsuke Nakamura.
yeah, Shinsuke.
I think that's what the style is called. I might be.
Yeah.
I'm probably wrong. But yeah, and then Asuka retained the longest title reign.
Oh, for NXT.
Yeah. No, for the women's. It was the.
I thought it was NXT.
Oh yeah, the woman.
Or was it Raw?
No, it was the.
I don't know. This is like during the time I really wasn't watching it.
I think it
'Cause
was
it got
the
so
Raw.
boring.
I can't remember, but like the fact that she has something like that.
She's really good, man.
She's good.
She's really
good
like,
at what she does,
Yeah.
and her gimmick is solid. Her like she's just really good. Like
Yeah. But let's focus on the changes that's happening, right? So
Yeah.
like I said earlier, like Vince is out, John Laurinaitis is out.
yeah,
A lot of people think that what's this guy's name? I forget his name. But someone else might be out pretty soon.
yeah.
And
Me.
like this real life McMahon Helmsley, even though Triple H, like his name is Paul and Helmsley is not really his last name, but like this real life McMahon Helmsley era is like a legit thing now, And I'm so excited with what's happening. Like story. So not WrestleMania, SummerSlam was such a good show.
Yeah.
With the surprise returns and everything, like everything about it, even the main event with Brock versus Roman. I got tired of seeing these guys wrestle. And I was like, oh, this is another one. Oh my gosh. Okay. They put on a solid match. Brock in this last run, these last 2 runs has been so good. Like I know he doesn't like being on the mic. He was decent. You know, he was pretty good. I think just everything about it so far has been good. And I'm pretty sure SummerSlam was already written with Vince at the helm, because all of that happened maybe in a week or 2 before SummerSlam, where he stepped down or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't think they made too many changes to the show. Week. Oh, it's probably the same week then. So I don't think they made too many changes to the show. Maybe he just knew what was happening. It was gonna happen or whatever. And like with Triple H, with Paul becoming head of I think he's head of talent relation and head of creative. And now with this new promotion of Shawn Michaels, like what is it? Vice president of talent development creative.
Shawn Michaels has an eye at, at the performance center.
I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. I think
they're
going to give
the scenes now.
A lot of people say that AEW is not a threat to WWE, and I don't think they are. I think they still have a long way to go. But if they weren't a threat before, they are definitely not a threat now.
No.
And I can see why. I've read about rumors that Tony Khan is concerned. He better be. I don't think WWE is going to come and try to steal their talent, even though I did see something like that WWE has been trying to reach out to people who are still under contract with AEW. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But I am super excited about what's to come. I sent you that Instagram post that WrestleMania sold how many seats, how many tickets? 90,000 in the first 24 hours or something like that. I don't remember the last time WrestleMania was sold out. I went to WrestleMania this past year. It wasn't sold out because I bought tickets for Saturday's show and I went. And then I was like, Sunday morning, I woke up and I was like, I want to go to WrestleMania. I want to go to the show. And there were still tickets available for Sunday. And I bought tickets in the same section that I had bought my Saturday seats for. So it wasn't sold out. This show is close to being sold out. I don't know what the seating capacity at SoFi is. It's a new stadium.
Yeah.
But 90,000, that's a lot of people. I will not be going to that show because Cali is expensive.
It's in Hollywood.
And I enjoy wrestling, but not enough to spend that much money for it.
The only way I would go if Rey Mysterio was headlining. I would go and financial debt.
I doubt it.
I know, but that's the only way that I'm going.
But we're going to the one in Philly, 2024.
That's true. So
that's down the street from us. So we can definitely go to that one.
Rey Mysterio to headline that one.
I mean, I don't think that'll happen. But I think, I don't know. We'll see.
We don't know the storyline.
There's so much potential. And don't get me wrong, I was super disappointed. I
don't want to talk about that. I know where you're going. Don't talk about it.
Vince, I'm disappointed. Because a lot of the storylines that are part of my core memory growing up were under his. It's like you said, his command. End of an era. It's definitely end of the Austin versus McMahon rivalry. There will never be anything like that. Never. You know what I mean? The Attitude Era.
Oh God.
Never. It won't ever be anything like that. Or I mean,
I
don't think ever.
We'll. I mean, I don't think it's not a peak. Well, it is a peak. In WWE's main history. And I feel
it was a turning point for them for sure.
It really was,
because they were losing to WCW. Ratings wise.
And then
I was always a WWE fan. I never really liked WCW. As a matter of fact, I was mad with the invasion angle, and I was like, "Who are these WCW guys?" Ugh! I was so blown. But you're a kid.
Yeah. It was. I mean, for me, it was because back in the day, Raw was on cable, and then SmackDown. So I was always. I'm always SmackDown was
my thing.
I'm always on Team SmackDown.
Always a SmackDown guy.
So I really
until I got cable, and then it was Raw is where it's at.
Nah, I was always on Team SmackDown, especially because Rey Mysterio was mostly on SmackDown.
Yeah, Taker was on SmackDown, Batista was on SmackDown.
Yeah, I was Undertaker.
Cena started on SmackDown, and they got moved over to Raw.
Yeah. Loser.
Yeah, I don't
It's like
I don't really have too much to say about WWE right now, aside from just like I'm excited for their future and what's gonna happen.
yeah, and I hope I hope we do. Especially with Triple H and Shawn Michaels, I hope we do get a diverse cast roster. Like I said in the beginning, I mean, me personally, I would like to see more luchadors, more high flyers.
I think we will. I mean,
because I mean, they were here for a brief moment.
yeah. If NXT, the black and gold version of NXT,
Yeah.
is any indication of what Triple H can do,
Yeah.
like, dude,
That's when Sin Cara was good. You remember that? I
listen,
remember that.
listen.
No offense to him.
I
like
never. It was a point. Even now, I didn't watch the weekly shows. I didn't watch Raw. I didn't watch SmackDown. I just looked at the recaps on Instagram or whatever. I would watch the pay-per-views though. When the NXT Saturday pay-per-views were better than the main roster pay-per-views, that's, to me, that says a lot in my opinion.
Yeah, it does.
Because I remember one year, it was 2 years ago, before COVID for sure, that SummerSlam, in my opinion, I think it might have been 2019 SummerSlam. I think that SummerSlam compared to NXT's Saturday show was some booty. I mean, NXT, they would put on some really good matches. It just had a different feel to it. You know what I mean? Even when they were like in a regular arena, it still felt like it's so good that I didn't know who the characters were. But when I was invested in the matches because match-wise, story-wise, in the ring was so good.
Yeah.
And then you would go and watch like SummerSlam, and I was like, "This is the main show. This is the main roster.
Shit.
You got some booty."
But just 205 Live.
Right?
I hated that, man.
Oh man, I'm just really excited. I might not watch it weekly. I might. I mean, they were just here this past Monday in DC. I didn't
Someone didn't wanna go.
I mean, it was
Putting
it
him
was
on
the first day
blast
back to
right
work,
here.
and
Putting him on blast right here.
huh?
I'm putting him on blast right now. Cancel him. He didn't want to
Listen,
go.
I went to WrestleMania
And he thinks he's
both
better than
nights
us. He thinks
in
he's better.
Texas,
He goes to WrestleMania.
and I went. I took my son to his first live event, and I think I went to another event before WrestleMania. That's enough wrestling for me. Live in person wrestling. That's for me. There are people out there. They go to
every
whatever.
day. Yeah.
That, more power to them. If that's what they want to do, that's fine.
I do
I just
like
need to
that
try to
about,
find balance and like too much wrestling or whatever.
I do like that about Mexico though. Like, so just a side note, like Mexico CMML, they're always it's like they don't move. They're at the same place.
Right.
And
They do like weekly shows, no?
They
Or
do
like nightly?
3 shows.
3 shows a week?
3 shows a week. Tuesday, Fridays, Sundays.
Oh, that's cool. I'd go to stuff like that. Like if we had something around here,
Yeah.
like I'd go to that because
Yeah.
I would rather go to a WWE live event than like Raw or SmackDown. Raw, SmackDown is cool because it's like the production level, like as a tech guy, the production level is much higher. They do follow the storylines, but during the live events,
it's more,
they have it's a little more relaxed. They can be more goofy. It's pretty funny. They do things that
think
you
for
won't
me,
regularly see on like live TV.
the last live event, or not live, just event that I've gone to was the return of Rey Mysterio, and that was at here in DC. And I think that was after the Royal Rumble. I think it was in January, like, what was that, 2019?
Something like that.
When he returned, and I remember, I mean, I knew they were coming, but I had no plans to like go. And I think a week before I saw like, oh, the return of Rey Mysterio at Washington DC. I was like, ticket closest one.
You went to that?
I went to that one.
Really?
Yes, I told you if Rey Mysterio is here, I'm going.
I went
Like that's if I had to pick someone, that's the person.
I think the last time I went to SmackDown was for Batista's. Batista did his return.
His
It was
return.
like
I know
the
what you're talking
Evolution
about.
thing.
Yeah,
I was here
yeah.
for that.
Oh, you were?
I was there for that.
Yeah. And then I mean, I think Raw for me was like when I was younger, and I remember Raw. I saw Jeff Hardy in a ladder match. I was like, that guy, because that guy's cool.
I think Batista had his like last wrestling match to the first WrestleMania I went to, which was WrestleMania in New York,
Yeah.
where Becky Lynch won both Raw and SmackDown Women's title. That was a fun WrestleMania.
I was about to say Becky Lynch is also a really good.
Becky Lynch is the man. I don't care. She's so good. Seth Rollins is real good. Like, listen, there's a lot of talent on the WWE roster. The stories they just weren't being
The
utilized.
stories are trash.
You know,
To be honest, I think the last memorable story for me, it was the Sin Cara versus Sin Cara thing. I really
that's such a long time ago.
exactly.
Listen, the last
that like really caught my like where I was just like, yo, because it's if that was the first time that anything has been done, I think, in WWE. But that's like a yearly thing in Mexico, and especially in CMML, they do it during the anniversary. So either it'll be a mask versus hair or a mask versus mask. And so seeing both Sin Caras was pretty cool. I mean,
yeah. I think that,
and it was in Mexico City, and I thought that was like a little sprinkle on the top, a little sprinkle on the top.
for those of you who can't tell, Ricardo is Mexican.
No, I'm
Mexican American.
No,
Just Mexican.
I'm British.
Shut up. Anyway,
I'm Mexican, yeah.
I think the last story,
Mexico.
the last story I was like fully invested in was that story with Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda.
Yeah.
For that, because I knew I was going to that WrestleMania,
yeah.
so but it was so good, man.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yo, this is so good."
when
and it was
Andrade-
freezing. It was so cold that night, dude.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
It was so cold. I remember we drove there, and it was
That's like
it was a roadie.
4 hour 5 drive, right?
It was like a 3-hour drive.
Really?
From DC. It wasn't that long. 3-hour drive. We drove there. We spent the day there, and we drove back the same night. I didn't get back home until like 4 a.m. Because the show ended around 12:30. It was like March, and it was so cold up there. We were like in like club seats, and it was so cold. I mean, I took my sweater, my hoodie, but
ice cold.
Again, just like Disney, if you are a wrestling fan, you have to go to WrestleMania. You have to experience it at least once in your life. Like,
I just want Rey Mysterio to headline.
It's such a good experience.
If it's in Texas, that'd be cool too.
Yeah. I'm glad now though that they split it to 2 nights.
Yeah.
Because when I went the first time to that WrestleMania, it was so long. I'm talking about 7 hours in that seat.
I would like Rey Mysterio to sign. I still have.
I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, I still have like from a child the Rey Mysterio mask I bought at a WWE event. It's like a blue one. It's kind of ripped up because it's been used as a child. I want him to sign that one.
Who's that jumping up?
Yo,
that's you.
Yeah, that shit was
man.
like, yeah.
Look, back in the day, my guys were like The Rock. The Rock was my guy.
That's your guy.
That was my guy, man. SmackDown, boy. The best people's elbow is that sliding people's elbow. That's the best people's elbow ever.
You can smell the Rock.
Oh, when he like rock bottomed the British Bulldog on poop.
Yeah.
What? That's wild. Like as a kid,
You know I really loved
school,
back in the day was
and all
the
this stuff.
Raw versus SmackDown tag match.
Yeah, you know what?
I've always loved that.
When the brands, so there was a point in time in my life where like I just stopped watching wrestling. It's like maybe a 5-year gap. Like I didn't watch it at all. I mean, like nothing. Like I forgot it existed.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of got back into it little by little, and it's just like, oh, I missed this.
For me, it was like the introduction of like, so it's the same thing. I stopped, and then when Andrade, started joining NXT, and I was just like, I saw his little like his bio thing, I think that's what it was, or his trailer thing, like Andrade is coming to NXT, like that sort of thing that they do in WWE. He starts talking. I'm like, I see the mask that he wore before, and I'm like, wait, I know who he is. He was La Sombra in Mexico. He was one of the best ones.
Andrade is pretty good too. They just weren't using him in WWE.
And that's the same thing that happened in Mexico. Like, this is no disrespect to him because he's a legend. There's a dude named Atlantis. He is the most mask one. He has wagered his mask so many times, and he's always won. So he has a nice collection of people's masks. And
so he took Andrade's mask?
He's an old like legend that took a younger superstar's mask.
Oh, so he's like Mexico's Ric Flair.
Yeah. And actually, like this September next month, he's
how old is this guy, dude?
He's like he's old. I can't remember. I think he's in his early
he's their
80s.
Hulk Hogan. He's their Hulk Hogan.
He's a Hulk Hogan.
Sorry, Ric Flair.
Yeah, no, well, I think yeah, I guess he's similar to the Hulk Hogan, but this September he has another title match, another not title
Mask
match,
versus mask.
mask versus mask against another.
That's his gimmick.
This is.
I'm gonna take the Wakita to Mascara.
But this time it's not against. It's against another legend.
Oh, okay.
So now it's like a clash of
That's
an old
cool.
rivalry.
I think we need to talk more about wrestling. I think we should dedicate a whole show to like wrestling.
Yo, I
Because
really
we're definitely over the hour mark.
yeah.
So
I want Sin Cara to come back.
I don't think he will.
No, but not the. I don't know how. I'll
You
say
want
this
the
real quick,
character or the person who portrays him to come back?
Yes.
Wait.
So let me. That's what I'm gonna say. So just a quick thing. The original Blue Sin Cara is Místico in Mexico. I'm a big fan of his. That's my dude. That's my Mexican dude.
He said, "That's my Mexican dude."
Yo, when Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio were a tag team, I was so disappointed they didn't win that. I was so angry. I was furious. I was furious on that. But we'll talk about that because that's a whole like anger thing that I had with that. We'll talk. We'll do the. I think our next one will be fully wrestling.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Well,
We'll talk about like, Basque regions. I know a little bit of French wrestling, and the only reason why is because there's one dude named.
I didn't even know there was like a French.
There's like a
wrestling
European side of it, and it's
thing.
like
You should bring. Okay, we can do that.
we'll talk about wrestling in the world, and then also WWE. See
Cool.
what it leads to.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna call it quits. That's our show. Thank you guys for staying with us, talking about Disney and wrestling. It was like two random topics.
Random.
But we're gonna try to get back on track with our schedule. So
We'll try.
we'll be back in
It's his fault.
2 weeks. It is my fault. We'll be back in 2 weeks for our next episode. Thank you guys for joining.
Bye.